Pawborough is in closed beta, which means it's time to click stuff and break things. But I've seen quite a few people confused on what exactly they can do in the game. I'm someone who's in the Discord and I've been playing around in beta for a little bit. Hi, I'm user Jaguar. I'm just going to go over a little gentle guide as to what you might want to actually be doing in the game. This isn't an exhaustive guide, there is no way I would be able to cover absolutely everything, and this is also not a time-proof guide. I'll try to make a pinned comment with updates, seeing as how I'm going to also be mentioning some bugs a lot of people are experiencing that you might want to know about as you're playing the game. First, let's go over what you can do with your cats. You have the 2 custom cats that you've created, and these are called founders. You also have the 3 randomly generated cats. These are called followers. Gameplay-wise, they are more or less interchangeable, but you may see those terms referred to a lot in fan spaces, so if you didn't know what they meant, congrats, now you do. Your cats do not need to eat or be taken care of, but you can dress up your cats in accessories, although a lot of these are glitched at the moment, or the layout of this little display window, which is called a scene. You can also apply different items, such as quartzes, to your cat in order to change their appearance permanently. You can acquire these quartzes through the bazaar or through crafting. That's all well and good, but what if I want more cats? Well, one way that you can acquire new cats is to buy them on the flea market when they're available. However, seeing as how closed beta has a very limited number of players, that may not always be feasible, especially not now. Another way that you can acquire cats is through the use of the incense item. This is an item that will generate a random cat, much like you saw with your followers, and then you can play with them to your heart's content. In the future, you'll be able to use this as of now unfinished farming mechanic to acquire the items needed to create the incense item, but for now you can scoop up the ingredients needed for it when it's on sale in the bazaar. I've mentioned creating items a lot. You can do that via this cooking and creating section here. There are recipes that require other recipes to be completed, but in the end, you can make pretty much anything that is displayed here, either by acquiring the items in the territory grounds, which I'll go over shortly, or through the bazaar. However, there is one more way that you can make cats. That is through breeding. However, before we can even think about how to help a pregnant cat give birth, we need to get your cats partnered up. Pawborough does not let you breed cats randomly. Instead, you need to establish a relationship between the cats you want to breed. You can have multiple relationships with multiple cats all at the same time. You can create these relationships by gifting items like food to each other until you can see the relationship indicator pop up. You can give food by going to each cat's profile and selecting the gift giver and food. You will get faster results if you keep in mind the preferred tastes of the cat that you're giving food to. There is a cooldown of about a minute or so on giving each other gifts, at least during testing. So it doesn't take too long, although you might have to wait a little bit. As a note, do not use the love letter item if your cats are not already in any sort of relationship. It won't do anything. What the love letter does do is, if your cats have any sort of relationship, it will rocket them up to mate status. But we don't even need them to get that far for kittens, we just need any sort of relationship. You can make any cats have a relationship, but you do need a Mars cat and a Venus cat. Mars and Venus refers to the symbols on each cat's profile. You might also know these as male and female. Okay, your cats are all besties now, yeah? Let's make some besties kittens. Head to the nursery and you should see your breeding pair pop up at the bottom. When you pick your cats, you can preview what kind of kittens they might be making, and the game will also show you the range of colors your kittens may be born with. As a quick reminder, the previews do not necessarily mean that you're going to get that exact litter of cats. It's still up to chance. You can click Begin Nesting to start making the litter. Your cats will then ask you for 4 different items while they're nesting. There is currently a 2-minute cooldown between each item you've given. I have noticed that the cooldown does not fully deplete unless you remain on the page for a minute, so I've been keeping it in another tab while it depletes. You need to fulfill each quest in the order that they're given, or if you want to hit the bricks, you can use the bitter root item if you have one in your inventory to stop the nest entirely. However, there is no time limit when you need to complete a quest by, so you can just let it sit if you're having trouble getting a particular item. You can use a midwife if you'd like to fulfill tasks while you are away, but the cooldown on the midwife is currently an hour. Your cooldown is only 2 minutes. Your midwife can only actually complete the task if you have the appropriate item in your inventory. If you click on any item, you can see where that item may be acquired, as well as how many of them you have in your inventory. If you do need to get an item, you can try the flea market, the bazaar, or you may have to get it from the territory grounds. The territory grounds is an item generator, more or less. There are various areas to send your cats out into. Each different form of gathering will give you different items, and not every cat is the best at every job. Remember when you picked your stats for your founders? These stats play a role in how they will excel at any given job. You can see here how a high speed stat helps with bug catching, but strength is the key stat to assist in mining. As the game is more fleshed out, the weather will also impact your cat's ability to complete a job. You can give your cats different roles from this screen. Some activities are locked behind roles. For example, the magician role will allow your cat to go divination. Other roles will give your cats a bit of a boost in other areas. You can assign multiple cats to a role if you're really trying to grind for a particular item. The cooldown is 2 minutes for me for some reason, but I think it's 1 minute for most users. Great, got that item? Cool, back to breeding. Once your kittens are born, you may have as little as 1 kitten, or you may have more. You do need to accept your kittens in the bottom right in order to see them in your den, so don't run away just yet. If you don't like the kittens that you've gotten, you can re-roll them before you accept them. But I'm going to accept these for now, because kittens. These kittens will grow up in 5 days. It will always display how old the cat is on their profile. Kittens can do something very special, something that I'm admittedly not too familiar with, which are complete errands. This is a bug, by the way. In the future, you'll likely want to use primarily adult cats for completing these. For now, though, you'll need to send the kids out to hunt some bandits. First, you need to join a guild or register a guild. You can join guilds that are created by other players, or you can make your own private guild and add your own cat to it. Here, I've just created my own guild and registered my own cats. Another bug is that right now, only warrior cats, very clever, can attack in errands. Attacking is the main form of completing these errands. So, until this bug is fixed, you'll want to register your cats as warriors, regardless of their stat layout. Once you have a guild, you can head to the errands page to see a list of all the tasks that you can complete. First things first, if you haven't, refresh your errands. If you have never completed an errand, or if you find yourself getting stuck in errands, as I have a few times where I'm stuck on a scenario and won't let me progress, refresh. Now this is where I stopped reading the script because my hand hurt, but I think we'll be fine. You can see the rewards that you may garner in any particular errand. Here, you can gain experience for your cats, guild points to level up your guild, not sure what that does yet, a special item, or non-special items. Fun! When you start an errand, you are prompted to select a cat as well as to select items to bring with you. The items that you bring are most likely going to be food, which you'll need to use in order to give your cat more stamina. Stamina determines how many times your cat can attack or take a particular action, so you'll definitely want to bring a little bit. I have noticed a bug where if you have to leave an errand, your items are forfeit, so just keep that in mind and don't put in anything that you're not willing to lose. However, seeing as how low the cooldown is right now on territory gathering, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. As a reminder, you need to have a kitten in the guild in order to attack as well. So make sure you're selecting your kitten if you have adult cats. Once your errand has loaded, you will see a little board with you, another cat, and a whole lot of squares. This is a tabletop RPG thing, which I'm not too knowledgeable on. However, I hope my explanation can suffice. Your cat can move within a certain range, and you'll likely need to get within range of the enemy cat in order to attack. On any given turn, you can move and perform an action. When you take any action, you roll a die in order to determine the success of that action. To end your turn, you need to tap the hourglass on the right. You always need to end your turn so the next person can move. Right now, it's not very intuitive on the website. Hopefully that's something that can be changed, or the turns will end automatically. To attack, you can press the sword and press roll. It will roll and determine how successful your cat was and how many health points you will have deducted from the enemy cat. You do need to end your turn after this, don't forget. When you have defeated all of the enemies on the screen, you can continue onward to fight another enemy. If you need more stamina at any point, you can use your items by selecting the backpack and selecting any given item. I've noticed most of these items only refill 1 stamina, which isn't a lot, but the errands I've been completing are short enough that I don't really find myself needing too much more. Between combat scenarios, you will have these little choices, which will allow you to pick between one of 2 stats. The choices that you pick are likely going to be influenced by that specific cat which is being tested. Generally, you want to pick the bigger number. Depending on how successful you are, you may gain more items and experience. As far as I know, the items don't go in your backpack. That would be nice if they would, if you forgot to bring items on your quest. When you finish your errand, you will gain guild points as well as whatever other rewards were promised to you. If you have to leave a mission for any reason, you can simply click Leave Mission, or you can abandon it from the errand screen. It will save your space if you have to click away. As of right now, the only things that you lose if you give up on an errand are the items that you brought on the errand. This is definitely not the most exhaustive guide, and it will likely become outdated within a few days as some of the bugs I've mentioned become fixed or some other new bugs start popping up. But if you were struggling for where to start out on the site, I hope this gave you a little bit of an idea of what you might want to be spending your time doing, or how these gameplay features might interconnect. If you're not already in the Pawborough Discord server, I do highly recommend joining if you're able to. Even if not to talk and ask the staff personally, you might be able to look up questions that you have and find other users who have also asked those questions. There is also a Zendesk page that the team has set up, which I'm going to link in the description, which hopefully can also help you if you have any other questions. And if you have any bug problems, or if you encounter anything that you don't think is intentional, don't be afraid to submit a bug report, which you can do by pressing the support in the bottom right or under support and contact us, or even just asking them in the Discord if you're in there. Will alert the team that there's something amiss. You might be the first person to report a bug, so don't be afraid to report it, even if you think they might already know. Oh, I guess you can also ask in the comments below if you have any other questions, and I or another member of the community will try to help you out. Thanks, I hope this helped at all, and you can add me on Pawborough as a friend if you like. I'm user Jaguar, profile number 76, and paste some Zalgo text into my comments because I always like seeing that. Big fan of Zalgo text. Go ahead, pop it in there. Have fun with your cats, and if I make another video, I'll see you again next time.